I, Dr. Kapil Govil, welcomes you in this video. Here today we will discuss data structure classification that we can see on this whiteboard. So data structure is basically divided into two sections. So first one is primitive and second one is non-primitive. So let's first discuss about primitive and non-primitive. So primitive type of data structure are those whose type is already defined. For example, integer, float, character, pointer. These are example of primitive type of data structure. It means that if you are storing any data as integer, your system will automatically understand, okay, this is integer. If you are storing any float type of data, that your operating system, your processor will automatically understand that float type of data is stored. You need not to worry about its type. Character, if you are storing any character type, so it will be processed automatically. Similarly, pointer, if you are storing any data like pointer, data means address. We will discuss, of course, we will discuss about pointer in later some videos. So, if you are storing any data or if you are storing address in pointer, so it will be automatically understood. So these are example of primitive type of data structure. Primitive type of means these are predefined. You are not defining pointer, you are not defining what is character, you are not defining float, you are not defining integer. You are just storing values. You are just storing values for these data types. So these are called as primitive type of data structure. Now we are coming to non-primitive. So what is non-primitive? These are a type of data structure where you as a user, as a programmer have to decide, you have to inform which type of data will be stored. For example, array. You want to create array of integer, you can. If you want to create array of character, you can. If you want to store array of address, you can. If you want to create array of a float, you can. So you are deciding which type of data will be stored in array. Similarly, in matrix, suppose you want to store some data as matrix, as we have discussed in the previous video, that you are storing any image in the form of bitmap. Let's see an example. Suppose this is your image. So your image will be stored in the form of pixels. These small sections will be called as pixels. Of course, these are very big, but actually very small sections are there. So it will be called as pixel. So your any image will be stored in the form of pixel, and pixel is an example of storing example of matrix. So matrix is a combination of rows, different rows are there and different columns are there. So matrix, in the matrix you can store some integer value, some character value, some space, some number, some image. So it's up to you. So if you are storing any type of data in the form of matrix, so this type of matrix means this type of data structure will be called as non-primitive, because it's not previously defined. You can remember this word non-primitive just like as not previously defined. It's not official definition, it's for learning, for your memory. Non-primitive is for not previously defined. Primitive means previously defined. You can learn with this pattern. So matrix in the form of rows and columns, and then list we will discuss, because you can see there are so many variation in the list. So we will come again at list. Now file. Suppose you are storing any file through C language or C++ language, or even MS Word, MS Excel, or even Paintbrush file. So whatever file you are storing, it will be stored in the form of non-primitive, because it is not mandatory that you can store any Word file in your hard disk. It's not mandatory. You are free to store any Word file, you are free to store any PowerPoint slide, you are free to store any PDF file, you are free to store any movie, you are free to store any audio file, MP3 file. So it's up to you. It's up to you to which format you want to save. So file is again type of non-primitive. You have to decide, you have to elaborate, you have to inform to processor, to operating system which type of data will be stored. So now we will discuss about list. So we can take an example of list of your real life. Suppose you are going for market for purchasing some stationery item. For example, suppose you have to purchase pen, pencil, eraser, scale, sharpener. So you have created a list that you have to purchase these items, and when you reach to a stationery shop, suppose pencil is not there. So what you will do? You will cut this pencil. It may be possible that you recall that you have a scale at your home. It's no need to purchase that scale. So again you can cut this scale. Suddenly you recall that you need one register also, one notebook also. So you have added notebook. So what you are doing? You are creating a list. Of course you can create this type of list in your mind. But what will happen if you have to purchase so many items? You have to prepare a list. This is very easy example. This is very real life example that you use in your daily life. So basically list is a combination of tasks that you have to execute in sequential fashion. Of course you can decide, as you are owner for this list, you can decide sequence of this list. Okay, so let's come on its bifurcation. So this list is divided into linear and non-linear. So as the name suggests, linear means one way direction. All the system, all the list will be in one way direction. There will be no bifurcation, there will be no hierarchical fashion. But in the non-linear, as the name suggests, list will be non-sequential, one directional. So we will discuss these type of examples of linear list after these examples. So let's come here. So here in linear list, stack, queue and linked list are three major divisions. So let's discuss about stack. So for discussing this stack, I am taking example. Suppose you are keeping one book on table. This is your table, and you are keeping this book on table, and above this book you are again keeping another book, then another book, then another book. So what you are doing? You are creating a stack. If you want to pick any book, so what you have to do? So if you pick this book, what will happen? These three big books will be fallen down. So it's better to pick only top book. Another example is packet of bread that you take at home at usual days. Suppose this is a packet of bread and it has two ends, one end and another end. So when you have to take some slices, bread slices, what you do? You open this side, and you can take one slice or two slices from one end. You are not opening both the sides, you are opening only one side. And if you do not want to enjoy one slice, what you will do? You will insert the same slice at this end. So this is again example of stack. One more example, suppose you are going for a marriage party or birthday party, and one buffet system will be there, and this is dinner table, and some plates are placed like this. So what you will do? You will pick one plate from top end. you will not pick plate from the last end. If you are picking this plate, what will happen? All these plates will be fallen down. So it's better to take this plate. Suppose you are going at this marriage party with your friend and you are picking two plates, one for you and one for your friend. So another plate, this plate you are giving to your friend and your friend is denying to take this plate. What you will do? You will keep that plate at this end only. You are not inserting in between. So again, this is example of stack. Of course, we will discuss more later on videos about stack, how to implement a stack, how to use, what are operations. Of course, we will discuss in the later video. This is just an introduction and data structure classification. Now we will discuss queue. We are taking very easy example of queue. Suppose you have to purchase any movie ticket at cinema hall. So what you will do? Suppose this is the situation. This is counter and the person is sitting there and queue is there. Some persons are there and these persons are waiting for their turn, and you came there and you are here. So what will happen? All these persons have to purchase ticket or whatever inquiry is there. So when your turn is there, only then you can purchase your tickets. So this is example of queue. So because this is linear fashion, that's why it's in the under category of linear data structure. So this queue is further divided into four types. So first one is that is simple queue, that is linear queue that we have discussed, and second one is circular queue. Circular queue means, let's take an example. Suppose first phase is take a form and after filling it you have to pay fees of ticket. At first phase this person is taking form from this counter and he is coming here. So what will happen? This is just like a circular fashion that you can see. This is making a cycle. If concept is just like this, then this type of organization will be called as circular queue. Of course, we will discuss circular queue in later videos. We'll complete details. And then double-ended queue. This queue has a problem. Suppose this person wants to inform something to this person. Suppose this person have to pass a message, hello. For example, hello is a message and he have to pass this message to this. But problem is, technically this is connected to this is connected to this and so on. So this message will be, first of all, will be transferred to this person, then this person, then this person, and then it will be transferred to here, then this will transfer to here, then it will be transferred to this person. So it will be good if we are having two ends. If this person is having connectivity with this and this. So what will happen? This message will be transferred to this and then this message will be transferred to this person. It will be very short period execution instead of previous one. So that is double-ended queue. If queue is having double end means next for next and for previous, then concept will be called as double-ended queue. And then priority queue. Suppose this is a queue for railway reservation. Suppose you have to purchase a ticket for any railway seat. Then suppose one very old person is coming here or any lady is coming here. So what you will do, what you have to do, what this person may say, please allow this person first. That is the priority. You are giving priority. Another example, suppose any minister is coming here. So instead of processing these members, this person, minister, will be processed at the earliest. So this is priority. Question is, who will set the priority? These person and this processor will set the priority. Suppose one minister is there and prime minister is there. So which one will be given first priority? This second priority will be for this, third priority will be for, suppose this is also there, so third priority will be this, and fourth priority will be for this person. So this is the mechanism for setting priority for any queue. Of course, we will discuss this priority queue in the detail in the later videos. So now we will discuss about linked list and its bifurcation. So first of all, we will discuss about what is linked list. Linked list is, as the name suggests, linked list, means some lists are there but those are linked to each other. How? For example, suppose this is one node or list item 1, and this is another item, this is another item, this is another item. Let's say 4 items are there and these are linked to each other. Each other means one is linked to one another, and this may be linked to this and this. So this concept is called as linked list. It's not mandatory that it should be jumble order. It may be anywhere in RAM. It may be static allocation or it may be dynamic allocation. What is static and dynamic allocation we will discuss when we will discuss in detail linked list, because we are just going through with the classification of data structure. So just intro part is here and detailed description will be in later on videos. So this will be linked list. So because this is linear type, so this is simple linked list will be called as linear linked list, or simply in most of the cases linked list. And then second one is circular linked list. So what is circular linked list? If we are connecting this node to first node, so it will be converted into circular linked list. So there will be now no first end or no last end. Anywhere, from anywhere you can start. Suppose you are starting from here, so this will be linked here, and this will be linked to this, and this will be linked to this, and again this will be linked to this. So it's again circular fashion, because it's example of linked list and it is circular, means connected this node to this node is called as circular linked list. And then doubly linked list. Doubly linked list is, what is the reason behind doubly linked list is its drawback. Drawback of linked list is we can move to forwarded node, but we cannot move to previous node. Suppose we have to pass a message from this this node to this node. So what will be the procedure? If suppose this is circular, then we have to pass this message to this node. This node will transmit that information to this, and that information or message will be transferred to this. So it will take too much time. Processor will be engaged too much. So this is the drawback. So removing this drawback, we are connecting this node to this node to this node to this, and similarly like this. It means all nodes have forwarded address and backward address, means next address, next node's address, and previous node's address. So this concept will be called as doubly linked list. And we are circular doubly linked list. So circular doubly linked list is this. We have this node has the next node address, and this node has the previous node's address. So in this figure, we can bifurcate doubly linked list and circular linked list, as this diagram is example of circular doubly linked list, and if we have to convert it into doubly linked list or just to design, then this link will not be there like this. Now it will be only doubly linked list, means it's not circular. This node is not connected to this, and this node is not connected to this. So it's doubly now. So these are 4 types of linked list. Now we will discuss about non-linear type of list. So here its bifurcation we can see graph, table, tree, and sets. So first of all we will discuss about graph. So we are taking an example, like some cities are there. For example, this is New Delhi, this is Mumbai, this is Chennai, this is Bangalore, and this is let's say Agra. So we are marking some distance, like Delhi to Mumbai is, for example, 500 kilometer. Mumbai to Agra, for example, 600 kilometer. Agra to Chennai is, for example, 800 kilometer. Bangalore to Chennai is, let's say, 700 kilometer. New Delhi to Bangalore is 600 kilometer. New Delhi to Chennai is 1200 kilometer. So this is the scenario. And New Delhi to Agra, suppose there is no route, there is no direct route. So first of all, you have to go Chennai, then you have to go Agra. So this is the geographical representation where we can say this is a graph of cities having distance in kilometers. So this type of structure means graph is will be suitable for mapping, for distance mapping and finding shortest route. For example, suppose you are in New Delhi and you have to travel all the cities. So which path you will select, which route you will select, so that minimum distance you have traveled and all the cities are traveled. So for these type of cases, you have to use graph. So of course, all the type of graph, how graphs are used in daily life will be discussed in the later detailed video, of course, because again this is just an introduction video and classification of data structure. So just we are giving brief introduction of graph. So it's about graph. Next is table. Whenever you have received any data or whenever you have collected any data in the form of table, for example, your mark sheet. In your mark sheet, you have never seen that in your mark sheet, for example, your name is Dinesh Singh. So Mr. Dinesh Singh, son of Mr. Rupesh Singh, scored 50 marks in Hindi, scored 75 marks in English, scored 66 marks in maths. It's not like that. You have never seen your statement, your mark sheet in this form. Why this is in your mark sheet is in tabular form? So that in the minimum content you can elaborate maximum output. So in the table you can see minimum number, maximum number, scored number, subject name, subject code and percentage of the student. So this type of format will be helpful for students as well as the readers. Reader means maybe your employer, maybe your parent, maybe your teacher, maybe your academic institution, university or school. So tabular form, it's not only about mark sheet. So many formats are also available. We will discuss again. So it will be non-linear because it is a tabular representation. Then comes tree. As we have discussed in the previous videos, tree is like hierarchical structure. Like in your family, suppose this is your grandfather and your grandfather has two children, your father and your uncle, and your father has 3 children, you, your brother and your sister. So what is this? This is hierarchical structure, tree structure. And where tree structure is used? In the internet browser that we have discussed in the previous videos. Tree structure are used in so many various situations. So this tree, this node is called as parent node and rest are called child. So in this tree structure, this node is called as root or parent. So this parent has 2 child, this child has 3 child. So at this time means when we are talking about this node, so at this situation, this will be called as parent and parent has 3 children. So this is example of hierarchical structure, tree structure. So next bifurcation is sets. Sets is nothing but, as you have studied, I hope you have studied in discrete mathematics and discrete structures in mathematics, because most of the cases sets are not included in data structure syllabus. So that's why I am not going in detail for sets. So I hope this topic is now clear to you. If this topic is clear to you, I would like to request you, please share this video among your friends, among your Facebook friends, so that they can be benefited. So thanks for watching this video.